Tonight, a mother's story, the story of the day she lost her son in what she calls the tragedy. Her son, the Amish school shooter.
News 8's Ann Shannon sat down with Terry Roberts, who shared her story for the first time. And Ann, why did she decide to speak now?
Well, Kim and Ron, Terry Roberts tells me that she's wanted to share her story for some time, but she just didn't feel like the timing was quite right. But last month, when her son's widow decided to speak out, Terry felt it was time for her to share her story as well. She wants people to know that even in the hardest of times, you can get through it.
Whenever I relive this, I really relive it. So,
even 7 years after the Amish school shooting, the emotions are raw for Terry Roberts. You can feel her pain as she shares details of that day.
So awful.
She was at work on October 2nd, 2006, eating lunch when she heard sirens and helicopters. Terry raised up a prayer.
Lord, be with whoever's responding, be with whoever needs this help.
Little did she know.
So I did that, and we went on with our conversation.
Within minutes, her husband called and told her to head to their son's Bart Township home. She'd heard about the Amish school shooting on the radio, but didn't know any details.
There's nothing that could have prepared me for the news that I got when I drove into our son's driveway.
State troopers were waiting. They told her her son, Charles Carl Roberts IV, was dead.
And I looked at my husband and he said, these hollow eyes that looked so sunken, he said, it was Charlie. What? This could not be. And yet it was.
Terry's grief was overwhelming. She couldn't believe what had happened. But as she lay down to sleep that night, she prayed again.
I cannot think of anything worse in the entire world. If there is anything that you can use in this to bring glory to you, use it.
Within days, Terry says she began to find things to be thankful for, like a visit from an Amish neighbor who spent time consoling her grieving husband and sharing his message of forgiveness.
And in that moment, it just quickened my spirit in that someday my husband and I will heal from this. It's going to take a long time because this is so sad, but someday we will heal.
And that is what